nobody seems to be able to get past James Garner. He is dominating the whole pitch in a way that very few players can. So I'm going to break down why he is one of the best tacklers in the Premier League, how he turns defence into attack in seconds, and why he's suddenly getting so many more goals and assists. So, just how good is James Garner? And is he one of the Premier League's most complete midfielders? Right then, people, let's get to the bottom of this. I think to understand this, we're going to need to split the pitch into thirds, I'm afraid, and we're going to begin in defence. James Garner has made the most tackles and interceptions combined in the Premier League this season. And this map right here, it shows every defensive action that he has made this season. And what's interesting is that we can see a lot of them occur just outside of his own box. He's stopping attacks at the most crucial moment. Here's Garner as Burnley are on the ball, beginning to settle into Everton's half. Now Burnley played forward and Garner finds himself sandwiched between two players who could receive the ball. And what's clever here is that rather than following either of them, he covers the space, putting himself in the perfect position to intercept and clear the ball. He's in a similar position here, marking a big space in case of any potential cutbacks by Chelsea. Pedro Neto beats two Everton players to enter the box, but Garner is already ready for danger, covering quick and clearing. So even when he's outnumbered, Garner still seems to be able to find a way to read the attack and stop the attack. Enzo Fernandez has the ball here in his own half. Palmer moves sharply to receive the ball and Garner reacts instantly by tracking his run. But now you've got Caicedo who's moved into the space that Palmer just left, and that's putting Garner into a really difficult, tricky 2v1 situation. The ball is played to Caicedo and Garner reacts immediately. He leaves Palmer to press Caicedo before he can settle and regains possession for the team. And this isn't two chumps we're talking about, this is Caicedo and Cole Palmer. And this is something that Garner regularly does, winning the ball in impossible situations. Like here against Aston Villa. They play a pass through the lines here, and this puts the Everton defence into a pretty uncomfortable position. They're backpedaling towards their own goal, and Rodgers receives the ball and bursts forward. But Garner shows great determination to track back. He waits for the exact moment that Morgan Rodgers takes a heavier touch, and then from this difficult position, he perfectly times his tackle to win the ball back. Check this out, here's a completely different scenario. Defending a 2-1 lead in the last minute, and the opposition have thrown several bodies into the box. The ball comes into Fulham's striker, who wins the first ball, and Garner is on the wrong side of Sessegnon. But he anticipates where the ball is going to fall before everyone else and intercepts it. It's Garner's proactive approach that makes it incredibly difficult for teams to settle in those central areas. So Garner's dealt with Caicedo and Cole Palmer. Let's up the ante, shall we? How about Salah? Salah's in possession here, and Garner shuttles across and prevents Salah from cutting in, forcing the ball to go wide to Szoboszlai. Garner makes sure to block the passing lane from Szoboszlai to Salah. He wins possession back for Everton, who are now able to begin their own counter-attack. But it's important to say that Garner's defensive work isn't used exclusively to protect the back four. Burnley are in possession here, and as soon as the ball is played into the midfield, Garner actually leaves his position to apply pressure. And he forces the ball carrier to turn and pass backwards, but Garner doesn't drop back into shape from this position. He stays tight, and now Everton have closed off two passing options, forcing the player to pass here. The Burnley player takes a touch to set himself for this pass, but Garner doesn't give him the time to pull it off. He wins the ball back and sets Everton off on a counter-attack. Garner's ability to dominate the middle third consistently stops danger. Callum Hudson-Odoi has broken free here and is about to run at the Everton defence, but Garner comes out of absolutely nowhere to slide in and instantly stop the attack. And have a look at Garner here. He's in the middle all by himself with two players to defend. Now the Everton centre-backs, they've been forced to split. And Fulham, they've got bodies making dangerous runs. So the ball is passed centrally to Chukwueze, who is looking to play Jimenez in behind. But again, Garner identifies the huge threat and gets the ball to stop the attack. So Garner's an enforcer, right? Wrong, people. He is so much more. Because in possession, his work is just as important for this Everton team. The willingness to move into wider positions means that Garner frequently goes unmarked in games. Kieran Dewsbury-Hall has taken up the deeper role this time. Two opposition players are attracted to Dewsbury-Hall, and that creates space for Garner to receive. In front of Garner are four Burnley players looking to restrict those options for him, but Garner's got the vision to spot Beto making a run in behind. He plays a superb through ball into the box, and it leads to a corner for the team. And the reason that he can unlock defences like this is because Garner is always one step ahead. Grealish has the ball out wide, with Garner in a central position. Now he anticipates that Grealish could pass to him, so he starts to scan his surroundings. And so when the ball is passed to Garner, he knows he's free and he's able to open up his body. Grealish subsequently makes a run towards the box while being tracked by two Newcastle players, but Garner's able to overcome this by not hesitating with his pass. That makes it impossible for Newcastle to block that passing lane because he's going so early and so clearly in his mind. He's got those pictures ready. Garner's scanning in this area is what allows him to start attacks from deep. This scan tells him that he's not under any immediate pressure. He's learnt that he doesn't need to force the pass and has the time to carry the ball forward instead. And that sets up the perfect opportunity to play in Iliman Ndiaye. And with the outside of his boots, he plays a lovely pass exactly where the winger wants the ball. Ghana's ability to play make from deep has led directly to goals this season. Michael Keane gives it to Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, who has dropped deep. Ghana is already preemptively scanning. And from that, he's learnt that his first touch can be positive and forward, and this triggers the run of Beto, who targets the space in behind. Ghana takes that second, waits for the run to fully develop and for it to be the right time, and yes, he releases it when Beto is level with Fofana. And crucially, Ghana plays the ball through the middle, making it almost impossible for Fofana to track the ball and Beto's movement at the same time. The weight of the pass had to be perfect, and it was, and the goalkeeper is therefore drawn towards the ball, and Beto cleverly finishes the move by lifting it over Sanchez. The most impressive part of James Garner's season is the final piece that he has added to his game to become so complete this season. In Garner's first 3 seasons at Everton, he had a combined 5 goals and assists, but this season he's already totaled 8 goal involvements. Now, a big part of this is Garner adapting to the new meta of the Premier League, and he's able to deliver high-quality crosses from set pieces, which capitalises on Everton's physicality. This pinpoint cross teases the goalkeeper to come and challenge for the ball, but ultimately he can't get there in time, setting up Tarkowski to score. And Garner's ability to in-swing the ball is a nightmare to deal with. Even though this ball only gets to the edge of the 6-yard box, it's the pace on it that means that it only requires a tiny little depth touch from Branthwaite to send it goal-bound. And this even applies to open play. Kieran Dewsbury-Hall plays it out wide to Garner here. He already knows what he wants to do with his first touch, setting up the angle for the cross. But it's the technique here that is really interesting, because instead of whipping it, Garner almost strikes the ball as if it were a shot. And the good thing about this is that it keeps the trajectory of the cross really low, and so the power behind it means that Michael Keane doesn't have to generate power on his header. All he needs to do is redirect it. Garner's early decision-making means that he's able to find his teammates, even when Everton have 10 men, like they do here. He receives the ball, takes one touch, and penetrates Man United's midfield with a pass to Dewsbury-Hall. This gives Dewsbury-Hall the platform to target an unsettled defence and score a goal. The ability to make things happen from nothing is what has really taken Garner to the next level. Garner is in possession here, but he's isolated. He doesn't have a close passing option and is facing away from his teammates. So he shows composure. He bides his time and baits in Murillo, who has left his central defensive position. Garner uses this to his advantage by turning on the ball once Murillo is at the point of no return. And this turn instantly puts Everton on the front foot. Ahead of Garner is a huge gap now, which Murillo has vacated. Garner realises this early and punches it through to Barry with pace, and setting up another goal, this time for Barry. But in the very same game, Garner showed us something new that he's added to his game this season. Now, last season, we may have expected Garner to be here, in a position to recycle and control possession. Nothing wrong with that. But instead, Garner stays high on the edge of the box. He's realised where the space is going to be. He's even pointing to where the ball should be played next. And because he's realised this before the Forest players, he's now goal side of them. He takes the shot before the defenders can block, and he gets himself a goal. James Garner also possesses an attribute that defenders hate. Brighton are defending deep here and have established a defensive structure that can be really difficult to break down. Grealish has attracted multiple players towards him, as he does, and there's no clear forward passes available to him. So instead, he lays it off to the arriving James Garner. Now, the important thing here is that Garner has made the decision to shoot early, meaning he's able to run onto the ball to generate power. So by the time the goalkeeper has reacted, the ball is already in the back of the net. It's been a journey for James Garner, from Man United to a great time at Nottingham Forest on loan, and then at Everton, sometimes playing right back, sometimes playing in midfield, but now he's become an incredibly complete midfielder. He has seriously levelled up this season. The same can be said about this genius winger. To see why, click here.
Thank you for watching my video. Please like it, subscribe to my channel, and press the bell icon for latest updates.